Hello learners, welcome to today's session. I am Urmi Girish Chandra. The topic of our session today is ethics in daily life. You can refer to your lesson number 21 for further reinforcement of the concepts that we would discuss today. So learners, when I say the word ethics, what rings in your mind? Do you relate it to the preachings or constant reminders of your parents and elders about good conduct? If yes, then it is a very closed concept. So, our objective today is to make you understand what ethics and values are. So, our task today is to explain the terms values and ethics, discuss need for values and ethics in daily life, discuss importance of respecting both rights and responsibilities, recognize and value dignity of labor, develop tolerance, empathy and a positive attitude in life, and develop a personal code of conduct. So, what does ethics mean? Ethics are a set of standards and rules that are required by an individual for leading a satisfactory family life and being a good worker. They guide our behavior and actions. They help in taking decisions under different situations. They are guided by moral values. So, learners, basically ethics means moral principles. They govern a person's behavior. They are the result of the values that the child has imbibed from the family and surroundings. Then what can be classified as an ethical behavior? Let's have a look. Why do we need ethics? They guide our thinking regarding right or wrong. They encourage us to develop and maintain a cordial work environment. They help in developing the identity of a person in life. Now, let us explain the next term, values. What are values? Values are ideas and beliefs that are learned from childhood. We imbibe them from parents, elders in the family, and the immediate surroundings. We learn them from our neighbors, from our teachers. Everyone contributes to build a value system in our life which stays with us forever. Let us have a look at some of the values that are an integral part of our being. Values for life. They are honesty, loyalty, respect for work, punctuality, regularity and discipline, courtesy and politeness, judicious use of resources, taking initiatives, and efficiency in completing tasks. These are some of the values that we imbibe in our life. Let us look at some values which we need at our workplace. Honesty and loyalty to the organization where we are working. Respect for the work assigned. No work is lowly or superior. Efficiency in completing tasks. Willingness to take up new tasks. Courtesy and politeness with co-workers. punctuality, regularity and discipline, and prudent utilization of resources. We now come to a life skill, rights and responsibilities. Ethics and values guide us for our rights and responsibilities. We often talk about our rights, and we are very particular about it. We get upset if we are deprived of our rights. But do we think our rights are not given to us? Why? We do not think the same way about our responsibilities. It's very rightly said that rights and responsibilities go hand in hand. You cannot just have rights with no responsibilities. Let's start from home. At home, you want love, care, affection, good food, good clothes, entertainment, good education, all modern facilities. But how conscious are you about your responsibilities, which are showing respect for parents and your elders in the family, helping in household tasks like cleaning, clearing the table after meals, making the beds, keeping your things in an organized way, helping your parents in bringing groceries, milk, etc., maintaining proper conduct and discipline, taking care of your belongings and not losing them. If we maintain this balance, then home will be a very, very pleasant place to stay. Similarly, in our outside environment, supposing we go and visit a park, what rights are we looking for? We want comfortable benches to sit, we want swings, we want areas for walking trails, we look for grassy plots, we look for flowers which make the ambience very beautiful, we want drinking water facilities and restrooms. But are we being responsible when we go out? We have seen people littering, plucking flowers, breaking the furniture, the benches, the swings, dirtying the restrooms, leaving the taps open. If we do not show responsible behavior, we will be deprived of our rights. That's for true. Because the park, when damaged, will just be a dusty area with no facilities. Hence, it is very important to understand that responsibilities and rights go together and help in creating a very conducive environment. Let us look at the slides. It very rightly says, rights and responsibilities of an individual go together and help to create a conducive environment. Let us have a look at our next slide. It talks about caring and respecting. What does caring mean? Caring means showing kindness and support to others. Caring behavior are actions which show concern, sensitivity, and non-judgmental acceptance of others. Taking an example from the present times, when everywhere there is threat of COVID-19 lurking, we can learn from our mothers and elders to make face masks using old cotton cloths, and then they are usable, reusable, and they are washable. We can distribute them to the less fortunate ones who are not able to purchase them, and thus we will control the spread of infection. We will be an instrument in that. Or we can visit the elderly living alone in our neighborhood, and assist them by bringing their requirements from the market so that they do not have to step out, as they are very vulnerable to infections. This help of ours will go a long way in showing that we care, and it does not require a very great effort on our part, but it will help the person a great deal. Helping people in distress is showing them that you care. Similarly, let's talk about respect. What is respect? Respect is something which we all need, whether we are old or we are young. But we must remember that to get respect, we must give it. It is a tagline which is there in our slide. It says, to respect, you must give it first. Respect is one way of expressing our love, gratitude, and appreciation for others. So if there is mutual respect at home, at workplace, and in the surroundings, there will be peace and happiness. I agree that sometimes there are clashes in viewpoint and ideas, but if dealt with politeness and respect, they can be sorted very easily. Disrespect towards people and things lead only to bitterness and strife. Hence, mutual respect is a very important value. Okay, learners, we will take a very short break and we will meet soon.
कोविड-19 यानी कोरोना वायरस देश एवं संपूर्ण विश्व में व्याप्त विषाणु जन्य समस्या। लाखों लोग इस संक्रमण की चपेट में। इसका निदान है जागरूकता के साथ हम और आप स्वयं। कोरोना वायरस के इस संक्रमण से संपूर्ण भारतवर्ष भी एक विकट स्वास्थ्य की परिस्थितियों से जूझ रहा है। भारत सरकार द्वारा गांवों से शहरों तक व्यापक जांच, उपचार और विभिन्न नैदानिक व्यवस्थाएं की गई हैं, लेकिन अभी हमें करना है इससे बचाव। बचाव है आपस में 2 गज की दूरी रखें, मास्क जरूर लगाएं, हाथों को बार-बार साबुन से धोएं और हाँ, आरोग्य सेतु ऐप पर लॉगिन अवश्य करें। घर पर रहें और NIOS की स्व अध्ययन सामग्री से पढ़ते रहें। आपके लिए PM ई-विद्या पर टीवी, रेडियो वाहिनी और मुक्त विद्या वाणी पर ऑडियो कार्यक्रमों का प्रसारण भी NIOS द्वारा किया जा रहा है। आपसे एक ही अनुरोध है, जब भी छींकें, मुंह और नाक को ढकना ना भूलें, भीड़ भाड़ में जाने से बचें और सामाजिक दूरी का पालन करें। और एक बात, जब तक वैक्सीन नहीं आती तब तक मास्क को ही वैक्सीन समझें। साफ रहें, स्वच्छ रहें और स्वस्थ रहें। 2 गज दूरी, मास्क है जरूरी। किसी भी आपदा की स्थिति में संपर्क करें टोल फ्री नंबर 1075 011 23978046। ईमेल करें ncov2019@gov.in।
करने राहों को आलोकित करने,
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने राहों को आलोकित करने, हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने। हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने। जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने।
धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो। धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो।
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े, वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो।
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े, वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो।
मित्रों हम उठे और जागे,
मंजिल आने की ध्वनि सुने। हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने।
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने।
राष्ट्रीय मुक्त विद्यालय का है द्वार खुला सबकी खातिर। शिक्षा परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता फिर।
शिक्षा और परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता फिर। दुनिया में इसके केंद्र बहुत,
कोई मन चाहा केंद्र चुने। हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने। कोई मन चाहा केंद्र चुने।
Welcome back after the break, learners. Now we will talk about the life skill, dignity of labor. What does labor mean? Labor means work. It can be manual or it can be intellectual. Let us take a look at our slide. What does dignity of labor convey to us? All jobs are equal. No job is superior or inferior. We have to have respect for all the jobs. Doing personal jobs oneself should not make us feel ashamed. We should take pride in it instead. Value the people working for you and earn an honest living. Our saints like Kabir, Raidas, Guru Nanak Dev all emphasize dignity of labor. Even Mahatma Gandhi was a very strong supporter for dignity of labor. He set an example by doing all his work himself and took pride in it. He used to weave his own clothes, clean his living area, dispose garbage. In this regard, there is a very interesting anecdote from the life of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, which emphasizes and explains this concept very well. So, sit back and listen to this story. It's a Sakhi. Guru Nanak Dev Ji was a wandering minstrel. He used to go with his companions from one village to another. Once he visited a village. The village head was Malik Bhago. He was a very rich man, but very cruel, unjust, unkind, very unkind. In his village, there lived a very poor carpenter who was a very honest man. His name was Lalo. Now, Lalo wanted to serve Nanak. So he went to him and insisted that he comes to his poor hut and have meals with him. Nanak Dev Ji was touched by his honesty and devotion and visited him. He was served very simple food, Lalo being very poor, which Nanak Ji ate with lot of interest and lot of love. Why? Because it was prepared by a very honest man. On the other hand, Malik Bhago, on the other hand, had made arrangements of a great feast in honor of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. But Nanak Dev Ji did not eat anything. This infuriated Malik Bhago. He said, I have invited the high and the mighty, all the nobility to honor you. I have laid out such a sumptuous meal. There are variety of foodstuffs, and you are not eating anything? Why? But you took food in that lowly carpenter's house, who served you just dry rotis? Nanak Dev Ji gave a very good reply. He said, no one is low or high. Everyone is born equal. No work is inferior or superior. All work done with honesty and sincerity deserve praise, appreciation, and respect. He said, I ate at Lalo's house because he is a hard-working person. He is honest, he is sincere, and the roti that he served me had the milk of his toil, hard work, and love. But the food that you have laid out for me is just a show of your wealth. You are the village head, but you have invited only the nobility, only the rich people. What about the other people of your village who sometimes go hungry to bed? When there is so much of food on the table, why were they not invited to have meals? He said, being the head, you have no compassion for your workers. You are so unkind, so unjust. You torture your workers. So the food that they have prepared for me is stained with their blood of bitterness and tears. It is said that he took a roti from Lalo's house and squeezed it, and milk flowed out. And he picked up a roti from Malik Bhago's table and squeezed it, and blood flowed out. The point is, learners, that Guru Nanak Dev Ji emphasized that no one is inferior or superior, and all work deserve appreciation and respect. So we conclude that no work is low and no worker is lowly. We should have utmost respect for our helpers who clean our environment and make it livable for us. They clean our dirty utensils. They clean our dirty houses. They dispose of our dirty garbage. And then, if we treat them with disrespect, that is very mean and very, very bad of our part. So, treating them with respect and dignity is an important value that we should imbibe. Our next slide talks about three terms: tolerance, empathy, and positive attitude. What is tolerance? Tolerance is the ability to be patient, understanding, and accepting of anything different. We can show tolerance by listening carefully without jumping to conclusions, trying to understand the other person's point of views. Many a times, we don't like a particular behavior or a viewpoint of our loved ones, friends, and co-workers. But if we show tolerance, then there will be a conducive relationship. But yes, tolerance does not mean indifference. We should not tolerate indecency, injustice, and corruption, and should be very firm in opposing it. Let us recapitulate this via slide. Tolerance is the ability to accept opinions and practices different from our own. Empathy is the capacity to recognize and understand the feelings being experienced by others. A positive attitude brings optimism and helps to cope with day-to-day life. It helps to avoid negative thoughts and worries and promotes a healthy interpersonal relationship. Now, I would like to share with you a story. You must have read it. It is the story of Prince Siddharth and the Swan. But today I will narrate this story to you in the context of empathy and kindness. Siddharth was the son of a very righteous king Shuddhodhan and his wife Maya. He was a very tender-hearted boy who had love and compassion for everybody. One day, when he was walking in his garden, he heard a piercing shriek, and a swan fell down, writhing in pain. Siddharth rushed to the spot. He saw the bird and saw the arrow, which was still inside its tender body, giving pain and causing copious bleeding. Siddharth understood the agony of the bird and removed the arrow. He gathered some herbs from the garden and rubbed it on the wound so that the healing process can start. He gave some drops of water to the bird to make it feel a little comfortable and embraced it gently so that it does not feel the trauma or feel secure. His cousin Devdutt soon came running because he was the one who had shot the bird, and according to the rule of the land, the bird belonged to him. So he said to Siddharth, "Give me the bird. I have shot it with the arrow." Siddharth refused. He said, "Yes, I know you shot it with the arrow, but it is not dead. So it does not belong to you. It is still alive and it has the right to live, fly again, and join its family." As you all know, the matter was taken to the court, and the wise men of the court, listening to both sides of the story, gave the verdict that Siddharth has saved the bird, cared for it, and empathized with its pain and suffering. So he has the right to keep the bird rather than Devdutt, who shot it. You all know that Siddharth grew up to be Gautam Buddha. But it was the positive attitude of Siddharth which finally led the bird to fly back to its home, to its family. We talk about positive attitude. Positive attitude brings with it a lot of optimism and energy, and all tasks and situations become easy to negotiate. Positive behavior gives an inner strength and helps us to fight all evils and wrongdoings and wrong temptations which surround us. It also helps to maintain healthy interpersonal relationships. These days, when people are hospitalized with very severe symptoms of COVID-19, the doctors and the caregivers are lifting their spirits and making them happy by singing songs, dancing, entertaining them because they are in isolated wards and they are feeling very low. So a happy and positive attitude helps in healing also. It is a very important life skill. Worries, tensions, uncertainties in life all push us down and reduce our abilities to do good work. But a positive attitude comes to our rescue at this time and helps us to once again bounce back and take charge. Let's see what the next slide has for us. We learnt about ethics, we learnt about values, we learnt about the different life skills, dignity of labor, empathy, care, positive attitude. We learnt about caring, sharing, respect. We learnt about rights and responsibilities. Now let us see what unethical practices and what behavior patterns do they show. These days, when we open the newspapers or the television, there are news items which are very disturbing and leaves us aghast. Incidents of road rage, snatching of personal possessions, armed robberies, kidnapping, murder, all of them make us feel very, very insecure. We hear or read about abuse of women, children, and the elderly. We read about the wastage of resources like water, electricity, unnecessary cutting down of trees for greed and not for need, rendering the mountain slopes bare and vulnerable to erosion, adolescents and street children indulging in alcoholism and drug abuse. People these days are fighting with authorities who remind them to wear masks. You see videos coming up on social media. The policeman is asking them to wear masks and they are fighting with them. The masks are for our safety. The policeman is just doing his duty and helping us, but then we fight back. They are challenging the rules and forgetting their responsibilities. They are being increasingly intolerant and disrespectful. So our slide says that unethical practices lead to alcohol and drug abuse. All law and order seems to go astray. There is increase in crimes. There is corruption, murders, and wastage of resources. So, what should we do then? We should form a code of ethics for ourselves. It says, be regular and punctual at work and at home. Do the task assigned to you. Be polite, patient, courteous, and respectful to all. Acquire the knowledge and skills necessary to do the task assigned to you. Be prepared to learn more and update yourself. It also says, find more and more efficient ways of getting your work done. Manage your resources efficiently. Do not waste resources. Follow the rules, policies, and procedures of your work strictly and uniformly. Do not indulge in favoritism and discrimination while doing your duty. Treat everyone equally. It further goes, have respect for all kind of work. Do not accept favors that may negatively influence the performance of your work. Be loyal to your work and to the organization to which you belong. Expose corruption wherever you encounter it. Before we start recapitulating, we will take a very short break. See you after the break.
कोविड-19 यानी कोरोना वायरस देश एवं संपूर्ण विश्व में व्याप्त विषाणु जन्य समस्या। लाखों लोग इस संक्रमण की चपेट में। इसका निदान है जागरूकता के साथ हम और आप स्वयं। कोरोना वायरस के इस संक्रमण से संपूर्ण भारतवर्ष भी एक विकट स्वास्थ्य की परिस्थितियों से जूझ रहा है। भारत सरकार द्वारा गांवों से शहरों तक व्यापक जांच, उपचार और विभिन्न नैदानिक व्यवस्थाएं की गई हैं, लेकिन अभी हमें करना है इससे बचाव। बचाव है आपस में 2 गज की दूरी रखें, मास्क जरूर लगाएं, हाथों को बार-बार साबुन से धोएं और हाँ, आरोग्य सेतु ऐप पर लॉगिन अवश्य करें। घर पर रहें और NIOS की स्व अध्ययन सामग्री से पढ़ते रहें। आपके लिए PM ई-विद्या पर टीवी, रेडियो वाहिनी और मुक्त विद्या वाणी पर ऑडियो कार्यक्रमों का प्रसारण भी NIOS द्वारा किया जा रहा है। आपसे एक ही अनुरोध है, जब भी छींकें, मुंह और नाक को ढकना ना भूलें। भीड़ भाड़ में जाने से बचें और सामाजिक दूरी का पालन करें। और एक बात, जब तक वैक्सीन नहीं आती तब तक मास्क को ही वैक्सीन समझें। साफ रहें, स्वच्छ रहें और स्वस्थ रहें। 2 गज दूरी, मास्क है जरूरी। किसी भी आपदा की स्थिति में संपर्क करें टोल फ्री नंबर 1075 011 23978046। ईमेल करें ncov2019@gov.in।
प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने।
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने। हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने।
अपना जीवन स्वयं बने हम, अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने।
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने।
धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो,
धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो।
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े, वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो।
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े, वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो।
मित्रों हम उठे और जागे,
मंजिल आने की ध्वनि सुने हम, अपना जीवन स्वयं बने हम, अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने।
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने।
राष्ट्रीय मुक्त विद्यालय का है द्वार खुला सबकी खातिर।
शिक्षा परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता फिर।
शिक्षा और परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता फिर। दुनिया में इसके केंद्र बात,
कोई मन चाहा केंद्र चुने हम, अपना जीवन स्वयं बने हम, अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने। कोई मन चाहा केंद्र चुने हम,
So let's recapitulate. What did we learn in this session? We learnt about values and ethics. What are ethics? Ethics means moral principles that govern a person's behavior. They are the result of the values that the child has imbibed from the family and surroundings. What are values? Values are ideas and beliefs that are learned from childhood. We imbibe them from parents, elders in the family, teachers, and the immediate surroundings, which include our neighbors and our relatives. Everyone contributes to build a value system in our life which stays with us forever. These values and ethics help in developing life skills. What are the life skills that we spoke about today? Rights and responsibilities. We learned that rights and responsibilities come in hand. You cannot have just rights and no responsibilities, and you cannot have all responsibilities and no rights. Then we learnt about tolerance and a positive attitude. Listening to others, trying to understand their point of view, even if it does not match with us, and having a positive attitude which leads to enthusiasm and optimism. Then caring, sharing, and respecting. These are very humane values, and they make us a very, very complete human being. Then dignity of labor. We learnt that all work is important and no one is high or low. Everybody is equal, all work are equal. And all these life skills help us to develop our personal code of conduct. Now, I have a small exercise for you. Let's test what you have learned. You can take out a pen or paper, or you can just do it mentally. Separate the following as general ethics and work ethics: regularity, sincerity, punctuality, loyalty, respect for the environment, self-respect, confidentiality, truthfulness. I give you 2 seconds. I will wait for 2 seconds and then share the answers with you. I hope done. Let's check the answers. The ones in the white show general ethics: sincerity, respect for the environment, self-respect, and truthfulness. And the ones in the yellow show work ethics like regularity, punctuality, loyalty, and confidentiality. There is another mind teaser for you. Tick mark the statements which are not ethically correct. Let's have a look. Making calls to relatives from your office. You come to office, use the office phone and make calls. Bank clerk opening the counter on time. Bank clerks shunting you from counter to counter. Going to a party in the office vehicle without making an entry in the logbook. Closing the tap while brushing your teeth. Employees working as a team. Out of turn promotions. Bribing an official to get work done. Jumping the queue. So, another 2 seconds. Take out your pen or paper, or just do it mentally. I'll share the answers with you then. Okay, here we go. The ones in red show that they are not ethical, like making calls to relatives from your office, bank clerks shunting you from counter to counter, going to a party in the office vehicle without making an entry in the logbook, out of turn promotions, bribing an official to get work done, and jumping the queue. The ones in the white are ethical: bank clerk opening the counter on time, closing the tap while brushing your teeth, and employees working as a team. So, that was all for today. I hope this session will facilitate you to understand your lesson and help you to imbibe this learning to make your life more meaningful. So, goodbye. Take care, be healthy and safe.